Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel, and this is my performance review of the WoW All City 8 V2, right? So this is a shoe by Li-Ning. Li-Ning is a Chinese company, but they've been killing it with the performance of their ball shoes and also the quality that you get. They are a little bit more expensive. I feel like it's a little overpriced as compared to Anta. Anta makes great shoes with great quality tech for a great price, you know? So anyways, so I like to think of Li-Ning as like the Apple of Chinese brands, you know? The same thing with Nike. Nike makes like expensive shoes as well, but they give you good budget models. Same thing with Li-Ning. But anyways, this shoe usually retails for like around 130, 140 bucks, but it's been on Fimuji for like $90. So pretty damn cheap. And of course, this is a little bit older. Like the shoe came out maybe like last year. But I just recently got it in and just tested it, and you guys wanted to see a review. So here is my review, and links are below if you guys do want to cop. But let's get it started off with the tracciones, and the traction is freaking phenomenal. I've played with the AC8, you know, this is the V2, and then there is a regular AC8. And I played with the AC8 on the wood floor, like an indoor court, and had an incredible bite. It really was not affected by dust from my experience. And then I played with the V2s on an outdoor court, and on the outdoor court, it killed it as well. Very consistent stop. You know, I had no issues with sliding out, and the stop was really good. And also another thing about this outsole is that it's super freaking durable. Like, look at how thick the lines are. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't look like the rubber is gonna move with the movement of your feet, you know, like when you're moving. Because the rubber lines are just so damn thick. But I mean, that doesn't really matter. You know, I feel like they use a really good rubber compound, and there's really there's a little bit of wear, just a little bit of fraying, but overall it's a really good shoe to just play like outdoors. Like even if you're playing mainly or only on outdoor court, this is a great option, you know. So outsole, they killed it. They did a really good job. Moving on to the heel to toe transition, it's also very smooth. You know, we have a very curved shape here in the heel, like super rounded, and same thing here in the forefoot. So you put a little bit of weight, kind of like propels you forward, and you have a lot of forefoot flex. Something I forgot to mention is there is a midfoot shank plate, so there's that. You can see it here on the bottom of the shoe. Moving on to the cushioning setup, so they're using full length cloud foam. It is heavily caged because cloud foam is actually very soft. You know, it doesn't really have a lot of bounce. I would say it's more on the softer side of things. But you know, as you guys can see, it's very caged, especially here on the lateral side, and also here in the back of the heel, the rubber comes up as well. So that kind of sucks. So there's really no compression in the actual midsole, but you can feel the cloud foam underneath your foot. You need to break it in just a little bit, but once you do, you can definitely feel the cloud foam. Not a lot though, not a lot, but you can feel a little bit of softness. Impact protection is actually really good. I would say for how low to the ground you are, impact protection is good. On hard impacts, it's not the best for like the hardest impacts, but it was adequate enough for me. So impact protection was good. You're low to the ground. It's a responsive cushion, and you get a nice soft feeling underneath your foot. So overall, if you want a responsive cushioning setup that you get pretty good impact protection from, and that feels kind of soft, this is a good option. But don't expect anything crazy, like, you know, a crazy bounce or something like that. All right, moving on to the materials, right? So we have a variety of materials. So here in the toe box, we have a very thin material that's actually see-through, and it reminds me of like the Element, I think it's like the 87, you know, the one with the see-through like material. And then here in the tip of the toe, we got like a synthetic material, and then another fused material over that. So if you're doing toe drags, this will cover you. Now, that's fine. And then coming up into the tongue area, we have like another like synthetic material, and then we got the tongue. And then here in the heel, we have like a synthetic suede material. So not the best quality materials, but this material here in the toe box is extremely thin and extremely minimal. I like it. And even though it is a shroud, you know, as you guys can tell, there's another material over this, it doesn't feel like bulky at all. It actually feels super thin, so that's nice. And then here in the tongue, there's pretty minimal padding, as well as here in the ankle area. There are some Achilles pillows though, and I really like how it feels on foot. It's a super thin material that conforms to your foot very well. Moving on to the fit, true to size, you should be good, but if you want a really snug fit, go down half a size, because Li-Ning and like Chinese companies, they usually run a little long for their sizing. But for me, I went true to size and that was good to go. There was a little bit of length though, but that was okay. And the width-wise, I would say it's slightly narrow. You know, as you guys can see, this plastic piece, kind of like, I can feel this part kind of like squeezing my forefoot a little bit. Not to the point where it's like super uncomfortable or like painful, but I can just feel it squeezing a little bit. So it's slightly narrow. And then here in the toe box, it's quite snug as well. So I really like the fit. And once you like tighten the laces and then zip this shroud up, you can definitely feel the shroud kind of like tightening over your foot, giving you a little bit better lockdown, which feels nice. But one thing I would say though, lacing this shoe up is freaking annoying. I hate it, like putting my fingers into the shroud to tighten the laces and all that, and then having this stupid like whatever this elastic band is. I don't know why they had this here, because there is a zipper. So yeah, I should cut this. But anyways, lacing everything up and then trying to zip this up over the laces is kind of annoying and kind of cumbersome. But I feel like the extra little lockdown that you get is pretty nice though, you know? This shoe also is pretty easy to put on. You know, the tongue opens up a lot, and then you have it's not a heel tab, but the heel does come up a good amount. So it wasn't super hard to put on, but it's just annoying to lace up. All right, moving on to the support and lockdown. Support and lockdown was phenomenal. As you guys can see from the lateral side of the shoe, we can see this plastic piece and also the midsole coming up. So you're locked in the forefoot, the midfoot, and as well as here in the heel. So lateral containment, your foot is not going to go anywhere. And then lateral stability, you're also very good. You know, you have a very flat base, a very low to the ground base, and a very wide base. As you guys can see, it does protrude out here in the lateral side in the forefoot. So I had no issues with lateral instability. And even though what is this? Maybe a little bit of a mid cut, I don't know. This kind of goes over your ankle just a little bit, but it definitely doesn't really give you a whole lot of ankle support, actually like none. So yeah, I mean, I like that. You know, I like to have my ankle mobility like free, so that's a good thing for me. But if you want something like that kind of restricts ankle movement, then this is not the shoe to get. All right, moving on to the weight of the shoe. If I remember correctly, it was like 13 ounces, right? Ooh, no, it's kind of heavy, 14.81 ounces. Really? 14.81 ounces? Damn, that's, ooh, exact same weight for both of the shoes. But yeah, that's pretty damn heavy. That's kind of crazy. I mean, it's not a light feeling shoe, but I really didn't notice the weight all too much. You know, it's a very responsive shoe. Like I mentioned, the cushion is responsive, the traction is really good, the support is there, and the materials are super thin and very minimal. I would just say it feels a little bottom heavy and a little bulky here in the heel, you know, but like I didn't really notice the weight all too much. And when you wear it, you feel very quick because the shoe feels very responsive. So in this shoe, I don't really think weight is that big of a factor, you know, just in my personal opinion. Moving on to the ventilation. Ventilation isn't the best. There's absolutely no airflow through this material. Although it is thin, so like it doesn't keep a whole lot of heat in. So it wasn't like the hottest shoe ever, but it also wasn't like very cool. You know, I would say it's like actually a little bit more on the hotter side of things. So ventilation wasn't the best in this shoe. Moving on to the aesthetics, I love the way this shoe looks. It definitely grew on me, and I like this colorway as well. I like the mismatching colors, like here in the pull tab, we got this orange and volt color, and same thing here in the midsole. So the aesthetics, it definitely grew on me, but I like the regular AC8 a little bit better. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. All right, so wrapping things up, get it. 90 bucks? Are you kidding me? That's insane. Hopefully Famuji is still having a sale by the time this video goes up. But yeah, I mean, even for like 100 or 110 or even 120 bucks, this shoe is incredible, guys. The lockdown is good. I mean, I really had no issues with this shoe at all. Like, there's really nothing I can say that I hate about this shoe, you know, or something that I didn't like just a little bit. You know, I really liked everything about this shoe. Actually, maybe the weight a little bit, you know, or I guess like the bulkiness here in the heel just a little bit. But like I said, this shoe is a very responsive feeling shoe, so I didn't really even have to worry about that. So yeah, I mean, this shoe is incredible. Outdoor use, you'll be fine. Indoor use, you'll be fine. Whatever position you play, it's a supportive shoe with really good traction and very responsive cushion with good impact protection and all that, you know. So definitely go ahead and check it out. It is a top tier performer, just like the AC8 was. Now, which one should you get, the AC8 or the AC8 V2? I feel like you should get the V2 because the material definitely feels a little bit thinner. And if I remember correctly, the V2 was lighter than the actual regular AC8. And also you get a little bit better lockdown with this shroud material over your foot. And also this shoe is cheaper on Famuji. So if you were contemplating which one to get, I would say for performance, the V2. But in my personal opinion, the AC8 looks better. But anyways, whatever you choose, they're both really nice. So anyways, that about wraps up this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.